So anyways, I was telling my friend that I keep all my cash underneath my mattress.
Perfect.
Waiting for...
Now we have that on record.
Waiting for the
We don't do that, by the way.
stream to load.
Seems to be loading for me.
It's not showing up for me. Where do I find it?
It'd be in subscriptions, but
Okay,
I got
see
it. Cool. So you are now welcome to do the intro whenever you want.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Tailosive Talks podcast. I'm your host, Louise Erickson. I almost forgot my name there.
That's easy to do.
It's late tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And joined...
I am joined.
I am joined by my husband, Andrew Erickson.
Hey, it's good to be
Hi.
back. We're on episode
Welcome.
9 of the Talks
I know.
podcast.
It's 3 weeks straight now of doing this 3 times a week.
Yeah. I'm
And
glad
we
we're
both
staying on
work-
top of it.
We both work full time, so this is a little bit of a commitment.
Doesn't
But
feel like
so
work
far,
to me.
It's been fun.
It has been.
Hello, Jesus, in the chat. Hello, Viper. Hello, Ben.
I love it when Jesus tunes in.
Yes, I feel blessed by his presence.
So jumping right into it, I wanted to talk to you about Snapchat a little bit.
Okay.
Because to this day, I don't use it anymore, for the record. I don't use Snapchat for anything or anyone.
For what reason?
I don't have it installed. Primarily because of similar reasons, I never downloaded it before. I've downloaded it in the past just because people at my school were using it back in high school.
Well, you and I used to Snapchat.
Yeah, that was fun.
We don't talk
flirt
anymore.
to flirt back and forth.
Flirt. No, we were just talking. You think it's flirting. That's just me talking.
Well, we're married, so it worked. But
Right.
regardless, I didn't get the point of Snapchat because I thought one of the best inventions / one of the most beautiful things about digital media is that most of the time digital media is pretty much permanent, unlike printed photos that you can lose or can be burned up or can be lost and that kind of thing. When you take Polaroids and stuff, it's not as permanent, I would say, as opposed to a cloud save or a digital save. Like taking pictures and posting them online is a pretty sure way to ensure that they're going to last a long time. There's theories of solar flares wiping out server farms and stuff like that. But as of now, that really hasn't happened. Like the pictures I've posted on Facebook when I was 9 years old.
You had a Facebook when you were 9?
Or 10 or something like that. I was really
Still.
young. Those
I'm
pictures,
pretty sure you have to be 13. I'm going to
I
report
lied.
you.
I always wonder what they do about that. If you
Yeah.
you lie about your age to get in, and then once you're old enough, you change your birth date.
No, your grandfather did.
They're
Maybe.
like,
So you were lying all
wait a
along.
minute. There was something like that. But
Right.
my pictures from Facebook when I was 10 years old are still there to this day.
That's impressive.
It's a pretty in my Google Photos library. Every photo I've ever put on Google Photos is still there. Whereas Snapchat kind of introduced this idea of temporary images and text. Like,
Well, were they the first to do it, though? Sorry, I'm trying to put my socks back on
oh, okay.
with my feet.
All right. That's right.
But are they the first to do it? Like, has there been any other company that's like...
Yeah, I doubt they're the first to do it because that's usually not the case with social media. It's just they happen to blow up. I've always kind of compared social media to memes. It's like they're unpredictable and
Right.
everyone will flock to just one of them, not for any particular reason. It just happens. But
there was a particular reason, though. I mean, legend says this was used for
sending inappropriate pictures.
specific purposes. And I'm sure it's still used that way, but...
But I mean, even when it was used for that, the screenshot existed, right?
Yeah.
So
But it tells you if you screenshot.
it does now. Did it always?
I think so.
Interesting. See, my confusion of it is kind of, well, not my confusion. My curiosity with it is oftentimes that social media has learned that to a certain extent, less is more in a way. You'd think technologically we have all these servers and we have all these storage cloud drives everywhere saving our pictures. Why not just save all the pictures we send each other?
Well,
And
Snapchat users still have that option, though. They can save whatever they send, whether it's a photo or video,
yeah,
and then they can look back through their Snapchat memories. And it's actually kind of fun to like look back through the years of all the things you've experienced. And I think Snapchat's kind of the balance between like living in the moment and not taking any pictures at all, and like something kind of, I don't know, temporary, obviously.
Right.
So it's the balance between living in the moment and like having a picture, a memory that lasts forever. So it's like you could have both, but still kind of like it's not as serious as like a photo shoot or something.
Well, it's proven to be successful time and time again. That kind of who was it? Shakespeare, I think, said brevity is the soul of wit.
What does that mean?
Basically means don't waste my time. You know, like keep things brief, keep things not too long. Don't go off too much, which is funny because that's how I would describe Shakespeare.
I hate when people have like 300-second Snapchat stories.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Well, I mean, like they've discovered, like Twitter's a good example, like making sure like, okay, you just post text, but it has to be within a certain limit.
Right. Well, before it was like, what, 40 characters?
140, I think.
140, but then they've
raised it to 240 or 280.
280?
You guys
know. So that's
know
kind of crazy. People are like writing entire paragraphs. And sometimes I'm okay with it because it's funny, but.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's worked with Twitter, and it worked with Snapchat Stories really took off, which is funny, almost to their detriment because people copied Snapchat so much.
Why is that to their detriment?
Because
they're
it was
the OG.
Because because it was such a good idea that it was so simple and easy to implement that everyone else took it, and now Snapchat's not doing as well anymore because of the success of Instagram.
Well, Facebook stories certainly haven't taken off.
Oh yeah.
I see maybe like one or two people. It's weird because there's like Messenger stories and Facebook stories, and they're totally separate. I'm pretty sure.
I think that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean, they own Instagram. They could have integrated those all together.
I know.
But they're probably smart enough to realize that the reason so many teens and kids go to Instagram is because they know their parents aren't there. And Facebook has become...
I like a bunch of parents follow me in my Instagram.
Oh, really?
Your parents follow me, I'm pretty sure.
Well, it's got to be less common, though, than Facebook.
Of course.
Facebook's turned into...
It's too accessible. Like, Facebook's much more accessible for older
Facebook's
folks.
turned into old people land. It's like a giant... What?
Your parents aren't old.
I mean, they're
barely 50. They're young.
I mean, they're not...
They're hip grandparents.
They're hip grandparents,
and
but I just mean like it's...
need hip replacement. Just kidding.
That's why they call it hip.
It's a bad joke.
Right.
I'm very hip, and I also need a hip.
Let's see. We have a super chat here.
Yes.
From Trainer K10. What did he say?
Kaiten.
Kaiten, sorry.
Kaiten.
You remember.
He says, "Good afternoon. Love watching your content. I watch and am subscribed to all your channels. I love your last Saturday short. Do you think Apple is going to release a foldable phone? If so, how soon do you think? 2020? Can I answer this for you?
I should start a tech channel where I talk about smartphones and tablets, and I could make videos on this stuff.
Honey.
What?
Maybe, I mean, he says he's subscribed to all your channels, but maybe he hasn't heard you specifically say it. But I'll answer for him. He said, no, Apple's not going to do that.
Yeah, I did make a whole video
explain. Explain why.
I just think Apple's typically the company to not go on board with tech trends that aren't really that functional, and they're more just for show. The foldable's a perfect example for that, but like Apple never made a touchscreen MacBook. Apple never made a VR headset. Apple never made a curved smartphone. All things that when they came out, people were like, this is the future. This is what everyone's going to be doing. And still to this day, Apple hasn't released a ton of products like that
They
everyone
focus
thought
more on
would
like
be the standard.
standalones rather than like integrating multiple interfaces into one product, which comes up or becomes a mediocre product.
And they test a bunch of stuff. They test things all the time to be like, is this really that useful though? You know, like we could release it, but is it going to be used that much? I think Steve Jobs was still alive when they tested the touchscreen MacBook. And he said that it's a cool demo. Like people will show up and they'll be like, whoa, my laptop has a touchscreen. He's like, it was good for that.
It exists then. There's like one of them.
Right. But his follow-up was that they realized after prolonged use, no one used it, which they saw before even Windows saw, because like lots of PC laptops have touchscreens, but no one no one realizes that, you know, Apple kind of pioneered multi-touch displays kind of before anyone else did. There was a few devices doing it. The idea of like multiple fingers on the screen at the same time and scrolling and
gestures,
cover flow and things like that. When that launched with the iPhone, Apple's big on touch, you know, they're really into that. So obviously they experimented it on the MacBook and they realized this isn't better. This isn't a good idea, so we're not going to do it. And Windows is a classic example of like, we'll do it then, and then they do it. And
They always want to
everyone's
give you
like,
the option, but it's like,
wow, look
these
at all
are
these
two
features.
like not that great options though.
And ultimately, if you look at user studies on,
Why are there flies everywhere?
I don't know, it's probably termites or something.
Flying termites? I don't
Yeah, termites
This
grow
is
wings.
scary.
I'm sorry, but ultimately, like they realized if you look up user reports on how often Windows users use the touchscreen on their touchscreen laptops, it's like the
very
lowest
small
form of input
percentage.
there is, and it's barely used. It's just a good demo. But yeah, I don't think Apple's going to make a foldable because it's not a functional product. It's just a show-off product. It's
Right.
good for people who want to.
It's like, look at this, it's different. That doesn't mean it's good.
It's like a party trick product. It's like whoa, look
A
what
very
I can do.
expensive party trick.
Yeah, and as I've said, the people who can afford to buy a foldable phone, the people who can afford to spend $2,000 on a foldable phone,
Right.
like most people would think that phone, the 10s Max, is too much.
Well,
Most
maybe
people would say that's out of their price range.
maybe
But to go above and beyond to 2,200 or 2,600,
sorry, Siri.
that's like, if you're smart enough to afford that, you probably are smart enough to not buy that because you know it's going to be a worse product. All you can do is run 3 apps at once. That's the only advertisement they have for it, which is not a good enough reason to spend that much money. It's ridiculous. But
Well,
what were you going to say? Sorry.
Well, maybe Samsung and these other Android companies are hoping that these foldable phones will kind of have the same reputation that AirPods have. Like people will think, "Oh, you're wavy because you spent so much money on this like product that's different." But I think if you're
You
actually
know what
using it
the-
day to day, it's not going to be very like a very smooth
No.
UI and also crease gate.
Yeah, the creases are very noticeable, and they just seem to be ignoring that. But you know what the sad thing no one will mention is? No one on YouTube will say this except me because I'm the Apple sheep. Products don't really have a trend. They're not really mainstream until Apple does it.
I don't think that's always true. I mean, Apple's copied. Oh, I see what you mean. So like Apple
If
takes.
Apple hasn't done it, it's not mainstream. And there's probably a bunch of you who disagree with that, but I just see it
I'm
that
trying
way.
to think
It's
of
like,
something.
like Bluetooth headphones were kind of cool. They were kind of neat, but they weren't mainstream till AirPods existed. Now they're becoming a meme, the waves, and they're normal, and everyone's like, oh,
Well,
okay,
mainstream
AirPods.
is a very subjective term.
I just think Apple is the one tech company that kind of consistently caters the most to like the average everyday user, not the tech enthusiast. Their job is to entertain and energize the standard, working class kids going to school. They're not into technology. They don't care about the RAM or their CPU speeds.
So you're saying for the average consumer,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube knows how to like mass market
Apple.
to us.
YouTube doesn't know anything.
Sorry, Apple. I don't know.
No,
Y'all,
I
it's
think,
late. It's past my bedtime.
Yeah.
But
No, I don't think Apple will make a foldable phone. But if they do, they'll probably make the best one, for sure. Wireless
Yeah.
charging, Viper, that's another good example. That's true. I know a lot of people are bringing up the PewDiePie thing.
yes.
I
So
have
what
commented
happened?
on it. So I unboxed the PewDiePie chair earlier this week, and I vlogged it, obviously. And during the vlog, I realized that on the box it says T-Series on it, and I was like, "That's messed up." So I
How could
pointed
that
that out.
be?
And sadly, there's good news to this story and there's bad news to this story.
What?
The good news is the good news is the end of the story, which is that picture of me pointing at the T-Series logo made it onto PewDiePie's channel.
Wow.
It's in his video, Why.
The most subscribed YouTuber.
Right, and I thought we had just
And
hit
it's
it
a
big with
picture
Shane
of-
Dawson.
It's a picture of your arm.
It's a picture of my arm, this Apple Watch, this watch band, my rug over there, my box, which I still have,
Right.
pointing at the T-Series logo. It's all from my vlog directly. The sad news is some guy was watching my vlog and he screenshotted it. And all my Tailosive vlogs have a little watermark in the bottom corner, a little Tailosive T. he
Cropped
that out
Oh.
so that it wasn't there.
That's
and
lame.
then he posted it on the PewDiePie subreddit and claimed, "Why is this on my chair?"
Right.
So
You know what? I bet that was T-Series.
they were taking.
Oh my goodness.
You should just turn off Siri.
I'd never use Siri. I don't know why she keeps popping up. See, this is why you guys should go onto Android. Forget what he says.
That's a good reason. Google Assistant never goes off on accident.
Anyways, yeah, I'm sorry that happened. That
so-
sucks when people like steal your content or make it as their own. Because the guy, I mean, I saw the caption. It said, "Why is there a T-Series logo on my PewDiePie chair box?" And I was like, "This isn't even your
yours.
photo.
You didn't even buy it.
I bet you're not even white." Like, I mean, sorry.
Wow.
I mean, like,
Oh,
your
the
arm.
arm is white. Okay.
Sorry, that came off.
Took that in a different
That came off
direction.
bad.
Wow, Louise. No, I was gonna say that once he posted it, I commented immediately and said, "This is from my vlog. Here's the link. Please credit me." And that is still, I think, at this point, the third highest liked comment on that post. So
Has he reached out to you at all?
he just added a little comment to the post that says, "This is from Tailosive Talks," by the way. That's all he did. And
Wow, lame.
that's really all he can do. I mean, I watch PewDiePie
Can't he like
a lot.
edit his original post though?
But I don't know what he could do to make it credit me though, because
Say-
PewDiePie still wouldn't read it.
If it was in the caption.
No, I've watched Lawai for a very. I remember the first episode of Lawai, and I know how that goes. It's basically,
I've never watched it, so I don't know how it goes.
It's basically him scrolling through his memes, and then he'll see one, he'll read the headline, and then he'll reply to it, and then he moves on. It's never like, "Oh, who posted this and who made this? Let me go check out their channel. By the way, subscribe to this channel." So there were a bunch of people who saw my still in Lawai, and they were like, "Oh, it's a shame he didn't shout out your channel, or he didn't credit you, or he didn't." And I was like, "That's not how the show works. Like, I don't deserve a shout out. I bought his chair. That doesn't mean instant promotion on the world's biggest YouTube channel." I was just amazed that a YouTuber I've watched for this long, like, just looked
At your arm.
even a frame of my content, considering it's the legit biggest YouTube channel. You can't edit a title on Reddit. Okay, got that. But yeah, it was trippy because we just had Shane Dawson use the Tailosive Talks footage, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Right.
Tailosive is on a 20 million
So
subscriber.
what's bigger than this? Like, are you gonna meet Elon Musk or what? Are you gonna go to Mars
No,
in a Tesla?
I consider this bigger than meeting Elon Musk.
What? Really?
Elon Musk was featured on PewDiePie.
Yeah, but you talk
So
about
was I.
Elon and like Tesla so much,
Yeah,
but you also
No, I'm
consider
joking.
PewDiePie to be a good friend of yours. So I'm like,
Yes, we collab all the time. Me and him, we're good, we're close.
He's seen your arm at least once.
He's seen my arm once. It was just weird, you know, like
Yeah.
to see
Must have been
you-
surreal.
to see you and a piece of your content on the biggest YouTube channel. That was just bizarre. It felt weird, but yeah, it's very cool.
Hopefully next time your face will be in it so people
Yeah.
can see your beautiful ginger face.
But also, for the record, Shane has also not credited me yet. It says in the description, "I'm working on the wildfire links coming soon." He's like, "I'm working on them right now," and that was like 4 weeks ago, and
They probably
hasn't
just
posted.
forgot.
Yeah, so the world doesn't get much credit when
That's
they
okay.
use your content, but I don't care. It was just cool to be
Well,
mentioned.
they say imitation is the greatest form of flattery, so
Yeah,
you should be grateful, I guess.
but that's just theft.
is it?
They just took it.
But he's
They didn't
imitating
imitate
you.
it.
He's
Yeah.
like saying, "This is me."
Right. No, that'd be fine. I wouldn't mind if someone said, "I'm Tailosive."
Really?
Well,
Stealing your identity?
I've figured out how to give copyright strikes now,
Oh, how?
which is kind of exciting. It's actually through the new YouTube Studio Beta redesign, which is mostly garbage. I hate most of it, but one advantage of it is it makes it much easier. It gives you much easier access to a whole list of videos that have been matched up with content you've uploaded. So I went to this page in the new Studio Beta, and it just gave me like 1,000 videos in a list that were just like, "Here's other channels that have re-uploaded your videos,"
Wow.
and they do nothing
And
about
that's a
it.
program that like seeks out these videos just to tell you, but not to do anything about it?
Yeah, just to inform you, by the way, this person's re-uploading your content, but they don't do anything about it.
Right. Do they think maybe, oh, that's my friend who also posts the same videos that I do?
They wait for you to act on it, which I think is bizarre. But there's a channel that I've known about because my fans have linked it to me hundreds of times. Ever since the Attic days. I think their name was, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not going to give you the pleasure. But
Good job,
if
Ken.
you're watching this person thought they were cool to just download all of my videos. Like they legit had 200 Tailosive Tech videos downloaded and re-uploaded onto their channel.
And I was about to ask you what was the channel called, but we don't want to tell you guys.
Well, you can't look it up now because once I found this list and they give you the option to strike them.
Wow.
If they have a high enough percentage match. Like they can't use just a portion of your video. Like Louis Rossman used my tech video, but he was talking about me. That doesn't show up in this list. It doesn't work like that. It's not like, oh, they used 2% of my footage. That means I can strike the video. It's not like that. It has to be like 60% or more. So basically, the majority of their video is yours, and they just re-uploaded it.
Now, when they are on their like YouTube beta thing, studio, does it show your video as you being like the poser to their video? Like, oh, this Tailosive Tech is copying your videos. Or is it like whoever posts first?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's whoever goes first.
Okay.
They know that's the creator, and it's probably someone in the partner program, which I have been for a long time.
I was just thinking, what if like a big channel started uploading a smaller channel's video, since they have kind of the upper hand in that situation? Would
That'd be dangerous.
the smaller channel be at a disadvantage, or?
That I don't know. That's a good question.
But maybe it's the first thing, like whoever posts it first.
That'd be difficult. But anyway, I had the giant list of this channel's re-uploads, and I'd reported it to YouTube several times, and I said, this person's impersonating me. And YouTube were like, we don't see anything wrong with it. So now that I had these options, I issued the strikes. I issued like 15 towards one channel. There were a bunch of other channels too doing it.
Okay, so you're doing it on specific videos, not an entire channel.
You can't do it on one channel.
Oh, okay.
You can do it on specific videos though. So if one channel has re-uploaded your content more than 3 times, I can basically go boom, 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 boom. You've re-uploaded my content 3 times.
Is this instant though, or does YouTube?
It takes 24 hours.
Okay. I was thinking YouTube needs to like clarify everything, double check.
I did it like, yeah, they have a person review it.
They have one person to review the thousands of
they've got
re-uploads.
thousands of people who have to look through them. But I had to do it like Friday at 5 a.m. And then today at 5 a.m. I got the notifications that every single one of my strikes that I issued for the re-uploads were correct. And they said you were accurate. And these people were re-uploading your content. And basically any channel that re-uploaded my video more than 3 times, deleted.
Wow.
Channel's gone now. So the guy who is reposting my stuff has been demolished. He's off YouTube.
Yeah.
Completely.
I just hope it's humans that are doing these checks versus robots. Because imagine if it was the way that like it doesn't matter who uploaded first. If the smaller channel or whoever's copying you says, oh, Tailosive Tech is copying my videos and reports you. If it was a robot, maybe they couldn't tell, like, oh, which one's the original, which one's the fake. But with a human, I guess you have a more discerning eye.
I just mean, why wouldn't they go by the date, though? They could just go by the first person to upload it. And usually by the
what
one
if you
who made the
upload
most.
it on, like, Twitch? He copies it, puts it on YouTube, and then you upload it on YouTube after him. I mean, that's really confusing.
I don't upload to Twitch
don't do
first,
that then.
But yeah, it's good to hear that. We had a super chat earlier. Sorry about that.
Yes. Question mark says, hey there, how is the best at cooking food? I think he meant who. I'm going to say
Louise.
me.
You're excellent at cooking.
I mean, kind of.
Oh, come on. Don't
like
sell yourself.
I think there's always room for improvement, and I definitely want to
Well, yeah, but
add more meals to my portfolio.
She's amazing. She cooks these pork chops and this chicken, and the spices you put on it are delicious.
Do you want me to tell you what it is?
Sure.
A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper.
Oh no.
Yeah, tonight we had like a nice kind of dinner with your sister and your best friend.
Yeah, Ross.
We had fettuccine Alfredo with chicken and some salad.
And I was in charge of the dressing.
Yes.
So I had to put the
You had to
salt
put
and
clothes on.
vinegar dressing. Yes. I had to mix together the honey and the garlic and the olive oil and the vinegar all together, and it made a perfect salad dressing.
What is that
it was
called?
Delicious.
Honey mustard, right?
Honey mustard. Yeah.
Honey mustard salad dressing.
So I just had to shake a jar. That's the extent
good,
of my
though.
cooking.
You probably gained some muscle doing that.
Oh yeah. But still it was delicious, and anytime Louise cooks, it's always the bomb.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I burn water. So he's just being nice, but I appreciate you
She
being
burns
willing to
everything.
eat anything I cook.
Because she's so hot.
Oh, stop it. Please. Also, Daniel's in the chat. Hi, Daniel.
Oh hey. Thanks for tuning in.
Doing well.
Holloway. But anywho, yeah, it's kind of weird that just now I'm finally able to like punish channels for stealing content. Like just now that's happening. Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird that it's taken this long, but there weren't really easy ways to do that before. But yeah, it's like it kind of goes along with the grand theme of people like stealing your work, because that's been a lot of content recently, is people taking things and posting it otherwhere and saying, there, that's mine. I made that. This is my chair. Or you can't believe what happened here. And they're like, ooh, that's good. I don't need to credit that person. I try to credit as much people as I can in my videos.
Yeah, stealing sucks, but I feel like sometimes piracy is in our favor. Like, if we can't find a movie somewhere, we'll just like, I don't know, look it up on YouTube. Sometimes it's there, like reposted. Or like,
I haven't done that in forever, though. Has that ever
Really?
worked for you?
no, I tried, but YouTube's getting really good at like taking
I was gonna
legit
say.
movies down. So
I don't
it used
think
to be
that
good.
it used to work, but I haven't had that work at all lately.
Yeah.
Anytime someone tries to, you watch those Judge Judy.
That's what I was gonna say. I listen to like Judge Judy while I drive to work because it's like a half-hour drive,
Yeah.
and I'm like low key really grateful for those channels who repost the videos, because I mean this is on like cable TV, which I don't have, so I don't really get to watch Judge Judy unless I'm on YouTube. Interesting.
And it has to add these like giant borders on it. And then it like
I know.
reverses it, and then it lowers the pitch, and then it puts a haze on top of
Yeah,
it.
the
You have to,
actual
like,
picture
squint
is
to actually see it.
like 15% of the screen, but it's okay because I'm not even watching it. I just listen.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that used to work. I remember watching like Thor when I was little.
Really, like on
On
one
the
of those
YouTube.
websites.
They just had Thor on YouTube.
Oh wow.
No, not even a piracy site. It was just all uploaded, and I guess no one took it down yet. It's not there now.
Yeah.
Because YouTube's gotten so good at catching all that stuff. But
It's really annoying because there's people who post like, oh, this is this movie, and it's like 2 hours long. You click on the video, and it's like, go to this website to watch this
Yeah.
movie. I'm like, are you kidding me?
does that work though?
I hope not.
Here's what I don't get about piracy, because
It's illegal.
I'm mostly
first of all.
against piracy, but there's all these websites that are claiming to be piracy sites. Watch HD movie free. Click here to watch whole movie. And those sites, when you click on them, which you shouldn't, but when you're there, they are stuffed with ads.
I know.
And they're constantly trying to get you to buy things.
Also,
and I'm
like,
aren't you advertising to a poor audience?
And I feel like there's viruses on those websites too.
A lot of the time, yeah.
Like one time, Hope and I watched Spider-Man on one of those kind of like shady sites.
Yeah, yeah.
It was the Homecoming one. Like
Okay.
is that the most recent one?
Yeah, the most recent live action one.
Yeah, so this was back at her house like a couple years ago or a year ago. And I don't think we even watched it. We were like on that website, and then suddenly she got a phone call.
Oh.
And it was like some Indian guy that's like, we need your, or he said like, you're being hacked or something. No, what did it? I think
You
on the
need to go to your
website.
PC and
Yeah, it said
click
your
this, click
PC
this.
is being hacked. Call this number. So we called the number because
oh god, it worked.
yeah,
Go
she
for
was really scared.
Oh god.
So we called the number, and it turned out it was just some Indian guys like, we need your credit card. And I was like, okay, Hope, hang up. Like that guy's clearly a scam, but
No, it doesn't make sense. But
Yeah.
I don't understand why advertisers, just from a business point of view, think let's put ads on piracy sites, because if you're pirating something, that means you're like either you're broke or you don't want to pay for it. So you're advertising your business or your product to people who don't like paying for things. That's a terrible business tactic. Don't advertise to users and customers who aren't interested in paying for things that they're willing to steal.
Right.
To like, why would you expect that person to pay? So I just think
I'm guessing the ad
those
space,
sites make no sense.
the ad space is probably really cheap. And so they just
Maybe.
get like a bunch of people to.
It's like, we'll show it to 10,000
Invest.
people for 1 penny. And
Exactly.
they're like, oh, that's cheap. They must be
Yeah.
stupid, but it makes no sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, they have marketing people to figure that, cost
Sure.
versus output.
Yeah. Oh, I saw someone earlier asking about the Saturday shorts. Sadly,
Yes.
there won't be a Saturday short today.
Yes, there will. Drew's going to stay up all night.
Oh no, I'll do it.
Just kidding.
I'm gonna do it tomorrow morning. It'll be up probably, if you're in the Pacific time zone, it'll probably be up when you wake up, because that'll be the first thing I do in the morning. Today we had to film the Saturday short, and we wanted Ross to be in it. And Ross is meeting a lot of people and hanging out with lots of friends, so he wasn't exactly available all day. He had a short window where he could be in the short, so we had to wait a while before we could film it. And by the time we had finished filming it, we had to go. So there's still a short. It'll be up on the weekend, but
It's
it won't
going to be
today.
a Sunday short.
It'll be a
guys.
Sunday short. Yeah,
It will be the cherry on top to your Sunday.
right.
Ah.
So
Sorry.
I like that little. Yeah.
We had another super chat
Oh, thank
from
you.
question mark again. Drew, what do you think about VPN services?
That reminds me of today's sponsor.
VPN.
What's your world VPN? I don't know. I don't use them. I don't know.
Isn't that to make your location like anonymous kind of, or like that it can be anywhere?
It's to help with security and stuff from
Well,
people like
if-
hacking. Usually when I see YouTubers talk about it, they refer to like, if you use Starbucks Wi-Fi, then anyone can hack into your laptop. And I'm like, well, I don't do that. So, but
What is that thing though that I think it's a VPN. Like if you're in a country that doesn't have Netflix, you can use a VPN to make it seem
Sorta,
like your
yeah.
computer is from the US.
That's kind of how it works.
Are you saying it? How is it kind of how it works?
I'm saying that's
it either
one, like,
is or
that's one
isn't.
part of it, but that's
Okay.
not like the only.
I understand that, but I
Yeah.
feel like that's one of the most useful things is like accessing different websites that you can't access in your country.
Yeah. The only time I used a VPN was in high school because our school Wi-Fi had blocked sites on it that you
Right.
couldn't access. YouTube and Twitter and
Facebook.
all the consumer sites. And if you installed a VPN on your phone, you could use the school Wi-Fi and access all those sites. So that was the only reason I ever used one. But once I got out of high school, I was like, I don't need this anymore. That was it.
Yeah. My work also blocks those websites on their Wi-Fi
really?
network, which is interesting because like I think most people should have data. Like just turn off Wi-Fi, use your data.
Yeah.
But I know one of my coworkers uses a VPN just so that he can like listen to or watch YouTube videos.
Oh, look at that. More people want us to get a Tesla. I guess we better
What's new?
we better cave. I mean, honey,
Cave. We're not troglodytes.
Aerolog Productions told us to get a Tesla, so
I don't know who you are.
we have to please the audience.
Aerolog? Were you an
Aerolog.
adventurer until you took an arrow to the log?
What kind of log we talking about here?
What? Now you just made it weird.
I don't know what you're referring to when you say
What?
arrow to the log. I don't understand
I
what
was
that is.
actually thinking of an actual log.
Okay.
What's
okay.
wrong with you?
That's nothing. We're good. We're good. I'm sorry, hon.
It's okay.
How's your experience been with the 10s Max? Do you like it?
Yes, I really like it.
Good.
You guys want to know my password?
No, I intentionally blurred it on
What?
the next vlog.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
How do you blur where my finger is going?
skills.
Really?
I'm
You
a
should
good
just like
editor.
cut that out.
Well, we were talking while you typed it in.
Oh.
So instead of cutting out the line, I just blurred it, and boom, problem solved.
Cool. But yeah, I've liked the phone so far.
Good.
But we'll do a vlog on it.
Oh, okay. Like a
Later.
vlog reviewing it? Or?
Yes. Just
My
like the
wife switched to the 10S
exactly.
Max from
My
the
wife
Pixel.
can't make up her mind.
It's like a
My
monthly
wife
series.
is leaving me.
That'd be kind of great.
By the way, Drew.
It's like the same thumbnail with the Pixel. You're pointing at it, and I'm like, my wife is leaving.
For Android.
Right.
Dang, so many people want us to get Teslas.
Yeah, that's weird.
Tesla over mortgage. People are telling us to live in a Tesla.
I've seen a lot of people say you'll save money by not buying gas, which will get you to the house faster.
But if we are homeless, where are we going to plug our Tesla in? We can't just have
the supercharger. We're not going to be homeless.
a Tesla's not a house.
Well, we'd live in the same house we're living in now.
I guess.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's all good.
Oh, Tailosive Music says get a Hyundai. See, he's got the right idea.
Oh, well, problem solved. We already have one.
How do you pronounce it? Hyundai?
Hyundai.
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 They're good cars. They're nice and cheap.
They are.
Really affordable, too.
And we just hit a milestone on there, kind of.
What did we hit?
140,000 miles.
Whoa.
But I want to get it to moonshot range, which is 250,000 miles, because that's how far it is from here to the moon. It's a
we can
moonshot.
make that happen.
You think so? That's literally another 110,000.
We drive quite a bit in that car, so.
Hopefully it doesn't break down
Eventually.
before then. Because
You
I
know what's
remember.
interesting?
What?
I have more than a subscriber per mile.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
Not including my car, though, because that also has 98,000 miles on it.
We'll pass it.
Really?
We're at 160K right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that car is at 140.
Right.
So we have one subscriber for every mile that cars drove, plus an extra 20K.
Mm-hmm.
And at the rate we're growing, we don't.
I drive like
Gain.
60 miles a day, though. Do you get 60 subscribers
we
a day?
get like 6,000 a month.
I can't do math. Is that 200 a day?
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right. Sometimes more, sometimes less.
Right.
But yeah. No, it'll
Ooh.
happen. We'll get there eventually.
Rudolph, we are not streaming at 5 a.m. It is currently 8:17.
It still amazes me that people don't understand how time zones work. Like, I've been doing live streams for so long.
Maybe
and
we
there's
should
so
just have
many
like the
people-
world clocks. Like
Maybe we could put that right there, right underneath
Yeah.
the T.
California.
Well,
that's
then what
not
would
even
then what would happen is people go, "That's not what time it is. The clock's wrong."
Well, we need like
like-
5 time zones.
Bruh.
How many time zones are there? 18?
24, right?
Oh, 24. That makes
Because
sense.
1 hour. Yeah. Or
didn't
there
think
might
of
be
that.
different one because in certain countries time zones are like 30 minutes ahead.
I have no
I've
clue how
discovered that.
time zones work.
Well, it's just
What if the entire world was on one time zone?
I've talked about that in the past. I thought, like, why not? Why can't just 2 a.m. be like the afternoon
Right.
for certain parts of the world?
So it wouldn't really make sense though, because then 9 to 5 wouldn't, like the idea of having a 9 to 5 job wouldn't exist, because
Mm-hmm.
for some places it would be, nighttime, 9 to 5. So I think, I don't know, probably is best that there's different time zones.
It's probably to help with navigational stuff to be
Maybe.
like, it's the same time here as here. I don't know. There's probably a reason for it. I just don't know what it is. I'd like to know more about
One
it.
thing I don't like is daylight savings time. I think that's stupid. Just to take an hour away and then add it back and take an hour away. Like, it's just kind of pointless in the day and age that we are in.
See, I don't even notice the last like 6 daylight savings days because it's all adjusted digitally on my devices anyway.
So you don't feel like you've gotten extra sleep?
No, well, I don't go through the process of changing my clocks or anything because my phone, my iPad, my computers,
Yeah,
my
but you don't
watches-
physically feel it?
No,
You're like,
usually
wow,
I'm just
I
like,
feel like I slept in today. No?
no, it's an hour's too small a difference for me to really notice it. But yeah, I don't know. It just hasn't been a noticeable change for me. So I probably wouldn't mind if they got rid of it.
They should
I
have
wouldn't notice.
daylight savings time, but only add hours. So you can always just sleep in every day.
This is
Just
how we
add an
travel
extra
further
hour.
in time. We just start adding.
That's how you time travel. It's just by changing time, not necessarily like going 88 in the
DeLorean
car.
In the car.
Yeah.
Just
I
any
don't
car.
know. I can't think right now. Someone was asking if 8:17 is past my bedtime. Yes, it is. Like,
When your day starts at 3:15.
yeah, I'd rather go to sleep
It's
at
pretty
like
late.
6 p.m. every night, but it's
True.
nearly impossible with our
True.
social lives and the things we need to get done and these streams that we need to do.
My hair takes forever to style.
Yep.
Every time. That's probably the most difficult part about these podcasts is I have to make my hair look right. This is a whole hour-long process to get my hair just the way I like it. No, that's all a lie.
I use my spit. And it's styling gel.
You groom me like a monkey. Like
I like
eat
pick
the
at your
bugs out.
legs.
Oh God,
Ew.
I'm sorry. We're grossing everybody out.
Hey, I mean, I talked about like getting psoriasis out of your toenails before, so we've been there.
Ugh. Daylight savings time
0 time
is an
zones.
oopsie.
An oopsie. An opsy.
It's an oopsie.
How would 0 time zones work? There has to be one. So that's just no time.
That's Jamaica, man.
We're on Jamaica time
Jamaica
now, man.
time.
What's poppin', man?
Ross is on island time.
Is he?
He's hard to get a hold of. A lot.
I think that's just Ross's personality, though.
He will I'll tell him to come over or be here at a certain time, and then he's not, and then I text him where he is, and he responds with some movie quote, and I'm like,
So is
What?
that yes? Are you
like-
coming?
are you coming or are you not coming? And then he would respond with another movie quote, and I'm like, okay, and I was waiting here, and it was like 3:30, and then he texts me, I think I saw you just drive by the office, and I was sitting in here, and I was like, nope, didn't drive by the office because I'm in it. And he was like, well, I'm outside. And I was like, well, why
That's
didn't you tell
random.
me you're outside? Just text me, I'm here. Instead, he got out, waited, and then stopped and just looked around.
He was
and then-
hoping that you'd come out.
I don't know. He didn't knock. It was just kind of bizarre.
I was about to make a really bad joke.
I can tell where you were going to go.
Okay.
But we got a super chat.
Oof.
Who's it from?
From Lewis. Is this Lewis Rossman?
Yes.
He's in the chat.
Local Tailosive hater.
He says, can you live without your phone or any connections to the outside world? I think he means accept. I read that correctly. He put expect.
Yeah.
Writing letters for 3.5 months. Just got out of Army basic training. So I'm curious. Also great videos.
Thank you.
I was
Thank
like,
you.
3.5 months. That's very specific.
Well, that's what he did.
Oddly
probably.
specific. Yes.
Yes, technically I would survive,
I'd be so sad if you left and like I could only write letters to you for 3.5 months.
Oh, I know.
I'd have
Just
to
knowing
like
how-
you'd have to get a giant suitcase and like roll me in there because I'm staying with you.
I know how sad you get when we just spend like a day apart and how upset you get over that. So
Yeah.
the idea of 3 months is like, oh God, I don't know how we would handle that.
That's something I've learned about being married is it kind of like drives you crazy a little bit.
Yeah.
Like before I was so independent and like when we were first friends, I was like never lonely. I didn't care if I saw you once a week or, if we didn't hang out that week, that's fine. But like now that I'm married to you, we can spend the whole day together. And as soon as I know you have to leave, like I start to get really clingy. And I know like it's a gross thing I do. Like I don't want to be clingy, but
I like it when you're clingy. It's fun.
No, I don't like it though.
Okay.
But I have to do
I
it.
enjoy it.
I
I
have
don't
to do
mind.
it. Like when we're sitting on the couch and I'm like, okay, and I'm like hugging you. Go now.
And you
have
just
to go to
keep
work.
hugging me.
Or like when I hold your hand and I just don't want to let go.
Yes. No, I understand. I understand it can be like that, but I enjoy
Maybe
it.
it's a woman thing. I don't know.
Because to me, it's like showing how much you care, and I appreciate it. It's like affirming to me.
Of course, I care about you so much.
Thank
like
you.
this much.
I care about you too. This much.
High five. Teamwork.
Good marriage.
Wait, messed that up.
Good marriage, honey.
Good
We got
marriage.
another super chat.
Adoptive.
Tech. Adoptive tech? No.
He's adopted.
Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. He says, "Hi Drew, I really like your content, but I was wondering if you will ever have kids," which we have talked about on the stream a couple times.
Yes. And also on our other channel, our couples channel,
Yeah.
The Ericksons on YouTube, you can check out a video is like our very first Q&A. So you can find the answer there. But actually, no. Go ahead, answer.
Oh, it's okay. You can answer it. Take the lead on this one.
I don't know. We're kind of like thinking about maybe getting a plant.
She's 8 months pregnant. No,
Honey,
I'm kidding.
why do you always do that?
I'm kidding.
I know
sorry.
I've gained some weight.
No, you.
I have. You know, love makes you fat. It's true.
I'm 8 months pregnant. That's the real truth.
That worries me.
No, we want to have kids someday. We've kind of
course.
decided that. And we've established that one day we would like to have children, but it's not something we were ready for right now. And we want to wait till we're older. We did marry pretty young, and we want to enjoy
Any regrets?
No, none at all. I love being married, and I'm perfectly content with being married this early because a lot of people were confused by that, especially when I talk about my age. They're like, "You got married, he's 20 years old. That's weird."
Yeah.
And like they all freak out. And I know where you're from, that may be considered different, but you have to consider in my walk of life, that's very like the
Your
chances
walk
of
of
me.
life? Are you like a cancer survivor? Like,
No, I'm saying like the things I in my career, in my social life, I don't meet a lot of people. And also I grew up in a very small town.
Yeah.
And
So you're very isolated.
I'm very
and
isolated.
Have lived a sheltered life.
It's not necessarily like living in a big city, and I don't plan on going to college, and that's where a lot of people meet their other or go out to big social gatherings where they can mingle and mix with other people.
Well, you
I don't
went to
have
college.
That. If I had the mentality that, well, maybe someone's better out there and I could meet them, then I would probably just throw myself into my work, keep working nonstop all day and be lazy. And I would never take the extra mile to go out and like socialize with people. And I wasn't into the dating apps or anything like that. And
Do you think if we never met that you would like turn to online dating? Or
maybe
what could have been like a possibility? Like if you never met me or like any other people in person.
I think before we were dating, I theorized the idea of whether or not I was okay with like socializing or starting long distance relationships with people who watch my content. That always felt wrong. I felt like that shouldn't be allowed.
Why?
Because it just creates problems. Like there's people that I would text or like there would every once in a while when my channel was a lot smaller, there would be girls that would watch, and you would see it's like, oh my god, this girl's like she's into me obviously because she watches my videos.
Yeah.
And you see that.
I bet that was
a
a big boost to your ego.
Yeah, that didn't help. That
Yeah.
didn't help my ego.
You got a big ego.
When I saw that, it would kind of like, I would kind of want to reach out because I'd want to like, hey, I want to introduce myself and I want to kind of meet this person. Maybe we can spark some type of long distance romance. But I ultimately never attempted to. I mean, I would text some
Was
fans
this
here and there.
before
But
we met?
yeah, this was a long time ago.
Okay, because when we first met, I think your biggest channel was like 100 subs.
Oh yeah.
So how
No,
did
this
you
was-
have fans that like reached out to you at 100 subs?
This is really small back then.
Yeah.
I don't even.
And your
I
biggest
barely
channel, I
remember
think,
them.
was the original Tailosive. At that point,
Yeah.
it wasn't tech.
No, there were very, very few fans back then. But whenever you'd see one like that, it would kind of spark this idea in the back of your head of like. But I never
This
liked the
could
idea of
be-
like dating a fan. Just sounded wrong. It was just like it's someone that found you on YouTube
Right.
first, and then that creator reached out to you. I don't know. Maybe there's nothing inherently wrong with it, but I've heard so many sad stories ending badly with like, okay, what happens when you try to start a relationship with a fan and then it doesn't go well, and then they try to expose you and
Expose you.
or say why it didn't work
They
out.
can't
or-
expose you if there's nothing to expose.
yeah.
And you're pretty like.
No, I didn't have anything in the attic. I just meant that it felt like a bad angle to start a relationship in. Like, I think it was probably good that our relationship started with you meeting me and knowing me. Uh-oh. I'm getting frame drops.
Uh-oh.
Not good. Not good. What? What do you want? What do you want?
So do we look like robots when frames drop? Like, are we like very at my
Yeah, they
lagging?
can't hear us and see us.
You here? Probably
Okay.
making it worse.
Connections coming back. Sorry about that. We were getting some lag. I have no idea why. The Wi-Fi just freaked out. Are we good? Can you hear us?
Let me double check if this is on Wi-Fi.
Which
Gaming
Wi-Fi
room.
is it on?
Gaming room.
Okay, good.
This should not be on
Rip
Wi-Fi.
frames. It's good now. Okay, can you hear me?
Anyways, let's just keep talking.
Okay. We had a super chat from Paul Grossclose.
Oh, Paul.
Paul is a YouTuber you guys should check out. Make
Paul.
sure you... Paul. Paul.
Another 90 Day Fiance
No,
reference.
we're lagging again. Stop. What's up with the Wi-Fi?
It's not even 1% though. Is it bad if
no,
it's
but
1%?
I mean, if it's like 24 a second and you're doing 24 a second, that means they're not hearing you.
Oh.
Move and get better Wi-Fi. Let me do that real quick.
Yes,
But,
that's real easy to do.
Please check out Paul Grossclose channel, and also thank you for the $2 super chat.
Yes.
It was very nice of you.
He said, I'm glad Drew respects women.
I do. I respect women very much, probably because I grew up with two sisters that I was very close with. We never were very hostile towards each other like a lot of other siblings, but we were incredibly, but we hung out all the time. We watched movies together, even in our teenage years. And still to this day, we still hang out sometimes. And that, I think, kind of helped me know how to interact and you know,
Right.
you could be with girls and it doesn't have to be in a romantic way.
I think you'll learn like how to be sensitive and kind of like, I don't know, considerate and thoughtful. And it does make you more comfortable with just being around women and not like a weird way, just being friends with them.
For sure.
Were you friends with a lot of girls growing up?
Yeah, I like talking to girls, not necessarily in a... Oh, my God. We're losing it. Sorry. I want to keep going, but it's not going to record it if we drop frames.
Okay, we'll give it a second. Can they still hear us, but just not see us?
They can't hear us either. Okay. I'm going to try to... What's going on?
It's all right. We should have like a lagging theme song so they can listen to something while they can't see us.
Well, that wouldn't be possible. Okay, I'm going to refresh. I switched Wi-Fis. Hopefully this is still working.
0 drop frames? Is that better?
Yeah, I switched Wi-Fis.
What was it on? Tailosive network?
Yeah, it's on gaming now.
Do you want me to take mine off gaming?
It seems fine so far. Just don't play the stream. Just pause it. Just
It's not playing.
Okay, good. That's fine. Okay, where were we?
All right.
Let's continue.
We're
from
back,
where
ladies
we were.
and gentlemen. Next in news.
What?
There was a homeless man found behind... Just kidding.
Well, let's... What question did you just ask me? I forgot.
If you grew up around... Or like if you were friends with girls growing up.
Yes. I liked talking and hanging out with girls, not because I wanted to date them or because I was attracted to them. It was just... I noticed that girls would be more open to listen and also be more outspoken about how they feel, which I appreciated because I like doing that, and I was used to that growing up with my sisters.
I think that's really great. That's something I really like about you. Is you're very open and honest and love sharing your feelings and hearing about my feelings. And most guys aren't like that, you know. They're closed off or they're taught like, you know, men have to be strong all the time. You can't show weakness. And I think that's such a kind of gross mindset.
Has made me a huge crybaby, though.
I'm okay with that.
You know how much I cry.
Well, I cry probably more than you, so it's okay.
It's kind of flip-flop.
Makes up.
Before we were married, I cried a lot around you.
Well,
And now
only when
after
we were
married-
leaving each other,
Yes.
you cried. Like on the plane. You should tell them that story.
Which one?
So
You'll have to
the
be more
first
specific.
time when we first started dating and we went to Florida together for like a week and we were living in different countries, but we met up in Florida and we were saying goodbye and I was going off on my adventure and you're going back home to California Like, we were saying goodbye and you started crying at the airport and I felt really bad. And you told me later that you were crying like on the whole way home, like on the plane.
I felt so bad for those passengers. I was in the middle seat of the flight and there were two
fat people.
No, they weren't fat. They were just, one of them was like a 16-year-old girl and the other one was like a 40-year-old guy on an iPad. And I was just in between them. Well, yikes.
It was an iPad sitting there with a guy on it.
No. He was using his iPad.
He said on
And I bawled in between them. I just cried and cried for a good 2 hours. And they just had to put up with it. They didn't ask me what was wrong or anything. And I didn't care because I was like, I don't know who you are. You're strangers. You can put up with my...
I'm never going to see you again.
Yeah, and I still have probably never seen them to this day. And I'm never going to.
Right.
I was just
I think they're watching this stream right now. They're like, oh, I remember this guy. He was sitting next to me crying on a plane.
Yeah. And I called from the gate and crying it was packed at the gate and I was sandwiched between two people there.
How did the conversation go?
I was just like, I'm here at the gate. I miss you already. Yeah. So that was a rough time for me, but it felt wrong because when I went to Florida, I felt like I was leaving home to visit you, and by the end of that trip, I was leaving home because you were my home, and I was just going back to where I grew up, but I wasn't home anymore. And once I left you, I was like, okay, this isn't right. This doesn't feel good. This isn't.
That's a pretty crazy thing to think, considering we were dating for 1 month. It was literally, it was like a month and 3 days when you went to Florida.
Well, I knew after we had dated for a long time and after the experiences we had together, when I was thinking about, do I want to marry this woman? I kept thinking to myself, okay, what are the alternatives to not marrying this woman? You can keep dating her casually and just have fun with it. But that's going to be a stress on you. That's going to make you feel used over time as you feel more and more inclined to move to the next step. And if I held you back, that would be like, well, he doesn't care that much. Or he doesn't want this to be a big part of his future. And
if things didn't work out between us, obviously it'd be hard, but I'd get over it because I know what I deserve and I know what I'm worth. So I wasn't going to let you be like the end game or something. I'm really happy we're married, but honestly, if you didn't think I was worth marrying, then I don't want to be with you. That's a waste of my time. No offense.
No, I understand. And you should think that way. But I ultimately realized, okay, the alternative is one day she gives up on me, decides she's wasting her time and leaves. And then what? Start this whole intimate relationship process again with someone else. And who's it going to be? It's not going to be someone I meet in my daily life because I don't run in social circles.
You could meet someone in the grocery store. I know that happens.
I didn't get groceries when I was a bachelor.
You can meet them at the McDonald's parking lot.
I'm not that kind of outgoing person, really. I'm never really the guy to just be like, I want to meet somebody. And even when I do, I just felt like starting over the process again of getting to know someone and meeting them and starting that all over again is like, do you think you can find someone that's going to be a more intimate or close relationship than you had with Louise? And I was like, no, that's not going to happen. It's stupid to think that
a relationship
I could recreate
and
that.
The commitment you have with someone is something you build over time.
Yeah.
And I think the thing with our generation is we tend to rush into it. Okay, maybe I'm generalizing a bit, but a lot of people rush into relationships and, after 2 months will give the commitment to someone when they haven't really let the relationship grow.
Right.
And just, I feel like the slower the burn, the longer it will last. And if you're constantly wanting to get to the next thing, I want to get married now, let's have babies now. And then you forget who you are. And also you forget why you're in the relationship in the first place. It's did I want to be with him because I love him or because I wanted all these things. I wanted to know what it was like to be married and to live with someone. And I don't know. You just have to like take things a step at a time.
And what a big helping and deciding factor for me was before you decide if you want to marry someone, you need to go through lots of different types of experiences with them. A lot of people decide, like on the 90 Day Fiancé show we always watch, they always decide they want to meet someone after they took like 2 weeks of vacation with someone.
You're only seeing one aspect of them.
You're seeing the vacation side
of them.
You're not seeing the working side.
Exactly.
Which is a huge,
or like, I don't know, the spiritual side, or how are their finances? Like there's so many different aspects of your life you need to know about someone.
And I think a really important one is seeing how they handle a crisis.
Oh yeah.
That'll change your entire perspective of someone. You could be in love with someone and you could think they're great, but if they go through hard times and they're going through a rough part in life, people will change depending on their circumstances. And you can see people you think you know so well drastically like overreact and do things you never thought they would do. And before we got married, we went through like all those things. We went through working together, our time away from each other.
A lot of time away from each other.
Right.
4 months.
4 months away from each other, but also we didn't like go on vacation once and then say, oh, that was the best vacation ever.
Right.
And part of that vacation, we even worked together.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people...
Was that the one I built a fence?
It was not just that. We laid concrete and we demolished a bathroom.
Yeah.
And a lot of people forget that about 3 days out of that 1 week I was in Florida, we were like just doing demo work on the house.
I was low-key mad at my dad that he was making us work. I was like, this is supposed to be vacation with my boyfriend and you're making me. But now I'm thankful for it because we've gone through that experience. We know we work well together.
We went to the Home Depot the Home Depot together.
We had this really like rusty old truck with a hole in the floor. It
was a terrible truck.
But
we had to figure out
we maneuvered it.
We had like
giant, what are those, concrete sheets?
Yep.
We had to lift those and like plywood.
Load them into the truck. This was our first week as a dating couple, by the way.
Is it still on your Instagram, that picture of us like,
I think it is.
We just lifted like 800 pounds of stuff.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Right. So experiencing, that's probably the biggest flaw I see with all the couples on 90 Day Fiancé. They've all experienced one side of the person, and then they're getting all this blowback because once they get married, they then after marriage see all of these different sides to the person. And I felt like I'd seen, most of your personality sides by the time we were married, because I'd seen what you're like when you're working hard, what you're like when you're tired, what you're like when you're stressed out in a crisis
Those
or
are
sad.
not pretty sides of me, by the way.
Well, not anyone has a pretty side.
Especially lately, I've been like really stressed and like lack of sleep, constantly working, whether it's like my actual job or doing this or like going to family events. And it's just hard to juggle everything. So I get cranky like after 7:30 p.m. I'm like, please take me to bed. I just want to sleep. But
you got to find people's cranky side. And realize
you
if
saw
you
that,
can put up with that.
You saw that the other night. I legit started bawling because I was tired. I felt bad.
I had sympathy pain for you because I felt for you.
Sympathy pain? Is this like sympathy pregnancy?
Yeah. I guarantee you I'm going to have that.
Oh, no, honey, don't. I need you to be strong for the both of us.
Oh, I'm going to do anything you want and anything
Yes,
you
but
need.
I don't want your nipples to start lactating. Like, come on, man.
Okay, maybe not that literally.
Wasn't that a part of like, what is it, Frasier? And like, there's that skit.
I think Niles on Frasier
he started lactating, right?
was like in more pain than Daphne was or something like that. Like he was fainting and she was like going into labor and Niles was the one they were worried about because he was like passing out all the time.
Oh, Jesus.
That's a great show.
It
Holy crap. We got a huge super chat from Adaptive Tech.
Oh my gosh.
I think the biggest super chat we've ever got on the Talks podcast. Thank you very much.
That's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
What does it say?
I was trying to recreate that one chick. You do it so well. Go ahead. Well,
there's a curse word in it.
Well, don't say the curse word.
That's the cutest freaking thing I've seen in my entire life. The memesters know what I'm referring to. It's a great meme.
Goodness.
Send them to the ranch. Okay, Adaptive Tech said, Hi, Drew. I wanted to thank you for everything that you do. I listen to your podcast every morning before school and watch all of your videos every day. You're my favorite YouTuber, and you're a great person. Thank you for everything. Wow.
That's so sweet.
Thank you. That's very supportive of you. I appreciate it. Wow.
We're $50 closer to Tesla, people.
Oh,
Should we just start a GoFundMe? I'm just kidding. No, that's for people with actual needs.
that's true.
And we have the best car ever, a Hyundai.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's
yeah.
a little bit faster than a Tesla Roadster.
Yes, it's the number 2 production car
That's
in
true.
all of America.
That is correct. That is accurate.
Send them to the ranch.
Send them to the ranch. But anywho,
Anywho,
we've reached close to our hour here, is there any closing thoughts you wanted to bring up before we wrap up?
I just want to send a message to all of mankind.
Wow. Okay.
Subscribe to PewDiePie.
Yes, I love this woman so much. That's what I was
going to
say.
babe. I shouldn't say babe. That's so gross.
It's okay.
I mean, honey bun, sugar lips. Oh, goodness. This is getting weird, guys.
This is getting weird. That means it's time to stop. It's time to stop. Expect more vlogs. They're coming tomorrow. And expect more tech videos and Saturday shorts. There's all kinds of content. You know what time it is. It's time to spin the wheel of mythicality. Wrong channel. Anywho.
What is that?
Good mythical morning. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.